Good afternoon. I hope it's convenient to talk. I'm a police officer with the West Yorkshire Police.
Oh yes, could I have your name please?
You can, it's Sergeant Stuart Beck.
Stuart Beck?
Yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi, I don't think we've spoken before. I'm ringing up in regards to a call you made to the police yesterday afternoon wishing to make a complaint.
That's right, yeah.
In regards to, I believe, and I might be wrong, but I'm just picking up the threads from the electronic recording call against the officer who you've had some dealings with over the last few days about regarding a complaint you wanted to make, and also their supervisor.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. Excuse me.
The reason why you rung the place, looking at the log that we generated, what is it? Are you happy speaking about this complaint over the telephone?
Of course, yeah.
Try and resolve it for you.
Yeah.
What are you not happy with?
I can't even remember what day are we on now. Was it
Friday today? Yeah.
I was at the doctor's Tuesday. Excuse me. And on our way home from the doctor's, I'd felt, rather queasy, and we went for a drive with the windows down, and we pulled up in this road, and we were just sat there talking, me and my husband, and he said to me, he pointed to a building, quite a grand building, and said to me, that's the old Masonic Lodge there. So I had my mobile phone with me, and I just got my phone out and took about a minute and a half's video of it, switched it off, we chatted a little bit more, my husband reversed the car out and we left. As we were driving along, my husband noticed that there'd been a van parked in the car park and it was following us. We pulled into Sainsbury's car park, the van followed us into Sainsbury's car park, and the gentleman in the van, he wrote something down, he was doing something anyway, he came over, because my husband wouldn't go into the shop till he knew that the man had gone. He came over, I was on the phone, and the window was down a bit, and he started saying through the window that we'd been filming, taking photographs of his house. I didn't believe it was somebody's house, I believed it was the old Masonic Lodge, that's what my husband told me it was, and that's why I videoed it, but he wanted to know what I was doing, and I just said to him, I don't believe it's your house, he said he lived there and he worked there, but he was adamant he wanted answers from me, and I just said to him, I was filming it and I don't really need to justify my actions to you. I was on a public road, I wasn't on your property, I wasn't, doing anything wrong, there was nothing sinister about it. He said he was going to give my details to the police in case something happened, to which I sort of said to him, what are you accusing me of? I offered to phone the police as well. I offered him up my name and my address, he didn't want them, he said he had enough information. He said he was going to inform and give my details to the lodge members, because he said, you do know it's a Masonic Lodge, and I said, yeah, that's why I was filming it.
Yeah.
He said he was going to, because he didn't want me to call the police, he said, you call them if you want and send them round. He said, but I shall be giving your details to the lodge members, and I felt it was a threat.
Right.
So I said to him, in a sort of, suppose, sarcastic manner, not a sarcastic tone. I was very polite, I never swore, I wasn't abusive to him in any way, and he wasn't to me either. He was, he didn't swear or raise his voice to me. But I said to him, and what, because he'd sort of tried to imply that I should be more worried about the lodge members than the police, I said to him, and what are the lodge members going to do? Sacrifice me? And he said, well, you never know. And this man had followed us. He'd followed us for almost a mile, and came over to our car. And I know I videoed it. We videoed him questioning us, because I've nothing to hide at all. And I know on the video footage, myself and probably my husband, who said a few words as well, maybe sound slightly louder than him, because we were in the car with the recording device, with the mobile phone. he was outside of the car and the window was only part way down. But there was absolutely no aggression on my part. There was no rudeness. There was no swearing. And I felt threatened by this man. He'd followed me and he was questioning me, and I felt he was implying that the lodge members were going to be doing something about it. So I made this police report, which I might say the PC who originally took the police report didn't really want to take it from me. For what reason I do not know. Then PC Lockwood came out yesterday.
Yeah.
We showed her the footage and she said I was goading him. Which, how can I goad somebody who's followed me? He followed me. So to say that I'm goading him is just ridiculous. You know, I stood my ground and, you know, I defended my position. I wasn't going to curl up into a little ball and start crying.
No.
You know, and I didn't feel very well at the time either, and I thought it was really rude of him. He interrupted my telephone call as well. But anyway, this PC Lockwood, she said, maybe you've took me the wrong way. She said, anyway, she said, because I said, no, I'm not happy about the way it's being dealt with. So she said she'd get her supervisor to phone me, who was Mark, I can't pronounce his surname.
Not many people can.
Shazastic, is it?
Nasty. She's nasty.
Yeah. And now I felt really rude yesterday having to call him Mark because I just couldn't pronounce it.
I don't worry about it, you know.
He said that the officer, PC Lockwood, had said to him, not only was I goading, I was provocative. And I just feel as if the police aren't sort of doing their job for the complaint that I've made.
When you say provocative, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I've not spoken to either of the officers because they're not at work today.
Yeah.
But just so I understand, you know, the comments made, are they suggesting that you were goading, stroke, being provocative when you've taken the video?
No, when the gentleman had followed me and approached me in the car. Because the video of the lodge that I took, it was only about, I think about 70 seconds altogether. I deleted it, you know, after the gentleman had approached me.
Yeah, I don't mean the actual video. I mean the actual action of you videoing. That's all.
No. They said I was goading him during the conversation.
Right. Okay.
But you know, if somebody follows me for almost a mile and then approaches my car, naturally, if I've got some way of recording that event, I'm going to record it. You know, I mean, I don't know this man. I don't know what sort of character he is.
Oh, so did you record the conversation you had with him in the car park?
Yes, yeah. That's where they said I was goading him and I was provocative with him, you know, during the conversation. But I was just standing my ground. I hadn't done anything wrong, and I offered to phone the police.
I mean, I've got to ask the questions now, the obvious questions.
Yeah.
You know, what do you want me to do about it?
Well, I mean, I don't even know what's happening with the complaint because from my point of view, the police seem to be taking the side of this gentleman who approached me, this lodge member.
Well, in terms of complaint, I mean, I don't know what, if any, action has been planned to be taken, because as I say...
I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, the guy's not going to be arrested. He hasn't attacked me.
No, and I'll, you know, and I don't know if the officers have, you know, how they've dealt with it or how they're going to deal with it. It's not on in front of me on this log, and as I say, they're not working today, so I can't answer that. I could give you my opinion as to how it should be dealt with and how, but that might not help.
Yeah, no, I'm more than happy to listen to anybody's
I'll be
opinion.
honest with you, I don't see it as a police matter.
Right? Why would that be?
Well, because I don't see any offences that have taken place.
You don't? Not even that this man followed me for more than a mile? Well, no, sorry.
No, I can understand why you've rung us, and I can understand the point you're making, but...
And not the fact that he sort of suggested he was going to pass my details on to lodge members, and I asked him for what reason.
Yeah, well, for me, and again, I'm only surmising here, but you know, I do know that, you know, and it's not a particular institution that I fully understand, but I do know, you know, in the past, along with, and I know it's probably a bad comparison to
excuse me,
on it lodges with religious establishments, but occasionally in the past, various reasons, various people have targeted these institutions and these buildings.
What, targeted a Masonic Lodge building?
Yes. No, I'm not saying in particular that one.
Yeah.
I am being very general in my, but certainly when I think about my police service, they have in the past. So from his point of view, and I'm only trying to think it through in my own mind.
Yeah.
From his point of view, if somebody was seen outside to be videoing it, I could understand why somebody inside that building might be very suspicious about that.
You do know that this Masonic Lodge is hired out to the public for...
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, so, and you do know that there's photographs of it all over the internet.
I do.
So, what his reason being worried about it being videoed would be?
Well, as I've said from my experience, and I've not spoken to him in particular, so I don't know what his thought process was. But
I mean, they're well sort of protected, these places anyway, aren't they? Because my dad knew a police officer.
Please understand, I'm not suggesting for one.
Well, no, I mean, my dad knew a police officer who was a Mason.
I'm not suggesting for 1 minute that you pose a threat to that building, the occupants, or any similar establishments. What I'm trying to suggest is why a person might then think, actually, I'm not happy about this, I'm uncomfortable. What are they filming it for? So I can kind of understand why they would be concerned about that.
Does that give him the right, though, to follow me for almost a mile and then?
Well, in terms of right, I mean, there's no offences in doing that.
Really?
It's not offence to.
Wouldn't be classed as a stalking offence.
Pardon?
It wouldn't be classed as a stalking offence.